Steve here. Saturday morning. It's cold. I just went in here and tried to clean. Everything's frozen, so I gotta wait till a little later and try again, see if the sun warms up the loft and defrosts it. If not, I'll wait till tomorrow. It's supposed to be in the mid 40s, so that should help a lot. But I've got 12 babies ready to be weaned, so we got to go through a little bit of a process before we move them into their section. I just moved all the hens and cocks from the old bird team back together. They're on this side now. This side only has some droppers in it, older birds, so hopefully they'll kind of show these guys how to eat and drink a little bit on their own, even though they're already eating on their own. Just got to make sure they're drinking now. Yeah, so let's get started. I got to bring them in. We're going to vaccinate them, squirt a little water in their mouth, and I'll show you guys this process, all right? So let's head on in and into the basement where I have everything set up, and we'll get moving, and then I'll show you guys the birds. So we're down here. We're in the basement. We got the birds. Got our little setup here, little container of rubbing alcohol, brand new syringe. I already put the vaccine in it. I have a vaccine gun coming, a new one, but it's not coming until Monday, and we have to do that today anyway. So here's the vaccine, PMV, adenovirus, and circovirus. So it is 0.3 milliliters per pigeon. So, all right, let's grab a baby. Here's our first one. 3109. Right here, little baby. You can see, fully feathered under the wing. Ready to be taken out. So flip them over. Oh, stuck on my shirt. Let me angle this down for you. So flip them over. You got the leg here. All the feathers are in here. So you want to take a Q-tip and wet it with some rubbing alcohol. And get all these feathers out of the way and disinfect the area with the alcohol. There's a little pocket there. So you want to go in just under the skin. There we go. And then doing it there, I don't know if you can see the vaccine right under the skin there. See that white mark? That's it right there. So now, these guys have been running around the loft for a couple of days now. And I know they're eating on their own because I've been making sure they're eating. But the drinking, I'm not sure if they're drinking. I've dipped their beaks, but we're gonna squirt a little water in their mouth anyway. Just a little. Now I know that this bird's got some water in its system before I move it over to the other loft. So put them in this basket. Nope, get in. And we'll move on to the next one. I also forgot to add, you want to check them for canker too. So he's nice and clear. Your nails keep sticking on my shirt. Throat's nice and clear. Come on, open up. He won't cooperate. You're a strong bird. Got it. All right, there's 3 down. All right, so here's a nice red check. So again, for you new guys, flip them upside down. It's kind of a pain in the butt. They don't want to be like this. Their feet stick to you for their own good. Pull their leg out, whichever hand you're comfortable doing it in. Hold them just like this. Get your Q-tip. Some rubbing alcohol. Move the feathers out of the way. Right there in the pocket. Check down his throat. It's nice and clear too. This is a little easier if you have 2 people, but I'm trying to teach myself to do it by myself. A little water in. And on to the next one. All right, so I'm going to speed this up for the rest of them, and then we'll bring them out to the loft. So all 12 are done. What was I going to say? Yeah, all 12 are done. Check them all for canker. Listen, guys, it's important when you wean your babies, check them for canker. Most of you guys know this, but this, for some guys who don't, check them for canker. Open their mouths. Looks like cottage cheese. Can't miss it. The other thing is you could also give them an ideal pill when you wean them. It just, help them get moving. I don't think any of these guys need it because they're all eating. So I'm just going to watch them this weekend, make sure they're eating and drinking when I move them into the other section. And if I have to, give them an ideal pill. But I think these guys are good to go. The other thing, guys, notes. Keep your notes. I made this on Excel. It's got the cocks, hens, what pair number they are, and then babies' band numbers for round 1, 2, 3, and 4. Put all the band numbers down. I had to add a pair down here, but that's okay. I have this on the computer also, so when I'm done with the year, I'm going to type this all up, and I have a folder saved for 2025 breeding. I'll save it in there so I can go back to my notes. Write down when they got their vaccines. So what is today? Here's my calendar. Today is what is today? The 25th. So 125. 125, first round. Vaccine. Because they're going to need to get this again in like 6 weeks. They need another dose. So make sure you keep your notes. That's actually very crucial. My notes have gotten better going into year 3. I've gotten more of a system down, and I find redundancy helps me. So I have my index cards for each pair, same thing. Day the egg was laid, date they hatch, and then the band numbers for round 1. And then I'll do round 2, so on and so forth. I have this sheet here. Like I said, this is my cheat sheet that I keep in my calendar book. And then the other thing, calendar, guys, get a calendar. If you don't have a calendar, if you don't use one, this is a monthly planner. It's for multiple years. So I've been using this calendar now 2 years now. So I have 2 years worth of stuff written in this calendar. I write down everything. When the eggs were laid, when the eggs were hatched, I wrote down when to band them. And like I said, I put everybody as a pair number. So pair number 1, which matches this sheet. So for example, pair number 1, Vandenbulk, blue bar splash with his band number. And then the hen, 1420, Hardy Kruger, blue bar. Birds, 3105 and 3106. So you can go here. January 12th, pair number 1, laid round 2. Simple. I know who pair 1 is. And then you've got pair number 1, hatch date, January 30th. And then if they hatch this date, this stays. If they hatch a day later or a day earlier, I'll cross this out and I'll write what day they actually hatched. And then I'll write 5 days later when to band. So let's go back to this month, December, when all the eggs were laid, when all the eggs hatched, and then I know when to band them. So you can even go back, even last year's in here. Let's see. Yep, see? Vaccines, treated for canker and coccidiosis, wormed, 250 milliliters, vaccinated for salmonella and PMV. December, pairs locked together, December 8th. Eggs laid, eggs laid, eggs laid. When to band. See? Your calendar is everything with this for you guys getting into it. You can write down your pair numbers here in the notes to make it easier. I didn't do that this year because I have it over there. But you can see how busy January was with everything going on. And then even February, everything's written down. March was quiet. It was only, looks like 2 pairs hatched. I think that was probably the end of my breeding. And then April, when the old birds were training. Write everything down. All right, you're going to have some quiet months in your calendar. You're going to have some busy months in your calendar. But keep notes. That's the biggest advice I can give you. Write everything down. All right, well, let's go over there. We're going to move these birds over, and we'll take a look at them once they're out and walking around. Guys, all the babies are in. Excuse the mess. This was a hell of a week at work. I got home late most of the week, close to 8 o'clock. It was cold. Everything was frozen. I was tired. So like I said earlier, once things start to defrost outside, or it gets warmer out and the stuff starts to defrost, I'm going to come here, scrape real good, vacuum. If I might have to wait till tomorrow because it's supposed to be in the 40s. But here's all the babies. Some of them are very curious and inquisitive. Some of them are a little nervous, but that's okay. They'll get with the program. They've got food in the trough so they can eat when they want. There's fresh water here with vitamins and minerals in it, so we'll make sure they're drinking. And there are a couple of older birds in here. The droppers are up here. These are all hens, so they should be gentle. And, you know, these guys are smart. They're inquisitive. They learn by watching. So if they see the older birds eating and drinking, it should get them to start eating and drinking. And if I have to, you know, I'll dip their beaks a couple of times and get them used to it. It's easy to tell when a bird's not drinking. They blink really hard and often, so you can tell they're getting a little dehydrated. And then dip their beak, they'll drink, and then you're usually good to go. So there's 12 over here now. We got 6 more babies hatched on the other side, and a load more eggs. I think every pair is back on eggs again. So we're moving right along. The first round's a little smaller than it should have been, but that's just due to a couple birds had some infertile eggs, and we had to start over. Those are the ones that just hatched. And yeah, so all right, guys, listen, have a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed the video. A little different than usual. I usually don't do how-tos and things like that. I'm kind of against them because everybody's got an opinion and everybody thinks their way is right and other people's ways are wrong. But just want to try to help some new guys getting into it, show them, you know, the vaccination process and everything. And yeah, all right, everybody, take it easy.